in retirement, and the little things can really add up. Are you confident you can pay for them? Using part of your super or savings, add a Challenger lifetime annuity to your retirement income and enjoy guaranteed income for life. So like thousands of other retirees, you too can look forward with confidence. Find out more at challenger.com.au. Before investing, consider whether a Challenger annuity is appropriate for you. Read the PDS from Challenger at challenger.com.au.
Danny Green here. Are you looking to increase the security of your family home? Made from 316 marine grade stainless steel and backed by a knockout 15-year warranty, Invisigard security screens are the best choice to protect your family and home. Available now through Perth Window and Door Replacement Company. Invisigard. Bred tough.
Perth Window and Door Replacement Company. Improve your home and security.
Claudio and Hero are deeply in love, while Beatrice and Benedict would rather swap sassy insults than sweet nothings. Much Ado About Nothing is one of Shakespeare's most famous comedies, where romance and true love is thwarted by dastardly plots, misinformation, false accusations, broken promises and bumbling cops. Or is it? Don't miss this timeless comic gem, a brand new production by Bell Shakespeare at the State Theatre Centre of WA from the 7th to 10th of August. Tickets available at ptt.wa.gov.au.
On 882 6PR, this is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley.
Must be time to catch up with Ben Aylitz from benaylitz.com. He's our technical whiz, knows all about this stuff.
Yep.
Fresh back from his overseas trip. Welcome back, firstly.
He's back, yes. Thanks very much, Chris. It has been a little while since I've talked to you guys last.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
feels
missed
like
us.
forever sometimes.
You talk in the way that kind of leads me to believe that you missed us, which is kind of nice, really.
Yeah.
Shucks. Hey, listen,
Yes.
a story that's just popped up. We
Yeah.
won't quite go to breaking news, but something in a lot of ways that doesn't really come as a great surprise to me.
Yes.
The latest thing from one E. Musk.
Yes, Mr. Elon. He has... he's finally doing it. He has formed...
Doing what? Why do I not feel comfort in that in those words?
It might make you feel uncomfortable, but for me, I think it feels like a great step forward in convenience.
Okay.
I'm behind this. I like it.
Okay.
So he's founded a company called Neuralink. Neuralink.
Now, there is a thing called link in there. What's he linking to what?
And the word neural. So what do you reckon?
Don't tell me he's hooking brains to computers.
Exactly right. So,
Oh, wow.
Neuralink, this brand new company that he's just developed after Hyperloop and SpaceX and Tesla and SolarCity and PayPal and all the other stuff that he's actually done, it's going to be developing a technology called neural lace that will allow people to communicate directly with machines without going through a physical interface. So bye-bye mouse and keyboard and forget the
So
screen.
how are you going to do that? You're going to have something attached to your head.
I think that's the idea. I think that's how it works. So it involves...
Seriously, do you trust Elon Musk with this? Listen, there's no doubt the guy's got a 2 trillion IQ. No question about that. Man's a genius.
He is off the scale.
But also, like a lot of genii, he tends to be a little bit... Well, let's put it this way, a little bit quirky. And
yes.
I don't necessarily know if he kind of understands the average person. And I must say, I do have some concerns about the prospect that something as great as that would be in the hands of somebody as eccentric as Elon Musk.
Well, I'm sure he's got a lot of good people around him that are going to be going,
None of whom he'd listen to, I suspect, because let's put it this way, evidence suggests that he's kind of his own man.
Well, yes, and especially when it comes to Twitter, because that's been landing him in hot water. But look, I'm actually.
Would you like to be charged with controlling Elon Musk?
Well, look, if we can get our hands on the computer that's linked to his brain, we might have a
Mate,
shot.
I'd rather be in control of the neighbour's rabid bull terrier. Because I think you'd have a better chance of controlling it.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, the Neuralink, it does involve implanting tiny little electrodes in the brain. And the aim is one day...
You're trying to make me feel good here, Ben. Come on, keep going.
Look, they're only tiny electrodes. Come on. They're just small. Just tiny.
Only tiny ones.
And one day the idea will be to upload and download thoughts. So initially this could be used... I'd say, obviously there's going to be medical implications. So we may see it have some
Download and upload thoughts. What was that? Is that Minority Report? Is that the one where they know about the crime you're going to commit before you commit it?
Oh, pre-crime, yes.
Imagine that.
Maybe
You're under arrest. Why? Well,
Maybe.
you're thinking about committing a crime, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
We know you're going to.
I can imagine this sort of technology can be turned around to do things like deal with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease and a lot of other sort of cognitive diseases that we suffer from. So it could have something to do with that.
Will it make them better, or could it potentially make them worse? Because let's say, for example, you're giving people images of things they remember, but they don't remember they remembered. Follow my logic here?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, they remember. So the end result is what you desire, maybe? This is probably something we should be throwing open to the audience.
See, and
see what they
how
think.
would this go too, right? You meet somebody and straight away you think, you are a drop kick. I mean, talk about a fair dinkum flog. You are actually PhD flog. Right, now imagine what would happen too if your boss could know what you're thinking, right?
Well,
you're sitting there thinking, well, if incompetence was a swimming pool, everyone would be very, very happily enjoying the inner tube right now in the pool.
Yeah.
You know, little things like that. I mean, let's face it. And let's even get down to the personal stuff. Have you had thoughts before that you would not necessarily and exclusively want your wife to know about? Do you have memories that you perhaps from the times before you met her would not want to share with her? Imagine if somebody could go, all right.
She's my high school sweetheart.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Nothing
about that.
to hide.
Oh, shucks. She knows all about it because she was there. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Look, it's. I think this is where all the science comes in, where we find ways to do the right thing. And then, I mean, this opens, like you've started to allude to, some massive ethical questions. We're already struggling with social media. And, I mean, I'm still seeing posts on social media today how people are saying, we only talked about a barbecue. I didn't search for a barbecue, and all of a sudden there are ads for a barbecue when I go onto Facebook or Twitter. And so there is that level of
take that to the
creep
online
factor.
shopping. You think about a barbecue. The next thing that happens, half a dozen meat packs rock up.
Well, it'll make life a lot more convenient, that's for sure.
Except if you, like you said, were only thinking about it. So here's the point.
Yes.
How would it separate thought from action? Now, let's be honest, we all have thoughts. Sometimes that they can be most fleeting, even about those we love the most dear. And 5 minutes later, we've got over it and a little bit of rationality comes back into it. See, what we forget is we have moments of irrationality, especially in thought.
Yes.
Those moments are moments that we have. We know about them, only we know about them. We certainly don't act on them.
Yes.
And we never would act on them. If you then have a computer, does it also know that, hang on a second, what we need here right now is a pause?
Yes.
Or does it act on them? Geez, I'd like to throttle you next thing. Hang on. Well, actually, I wasn't really going to do that. It was just a way that I was sort of discharging a little bit of pent-up anger.
Yes.
It wasn't actually a literal command. Meantime, somebody's turning blue and saying, could you release your hands, please? I don't know. Mate, I like technology. I like advancement, but I see problems.
Well, look, there's always problems with technology because just like any other tool in our arsenal from back into the Stone Age, there have been ways to twist it into ways that it shouldn't be. Well,
but you could defend yourself against. See, somebody came at you with a bloody hammer, a Stone Age hammer. At least you had some chance of defending yourself.
Yeah. Look,
And you might have 3 or 4 mates who would have stepped in to help you as well. Now what we're talking about is something that's, I mean, apart from anything, it's going to be virtual. And you are going to have a disconnect from the object to which you are in fact connected.
Yeah, look,
What happens when hackers get online
Well, yes.
and get into your brain?
Yeah.
What happens when they load a virus into your brain? What's going to happen?
Yeah. And that's something where we're going to see a lot more exploration into that sort of thing. So, yes, there are ways that it can be used properly, but of course, with everything, there are always
You have
flaws.
to consider the downsides.
Exactly, yeah.
Could somebody hack into a bunch of computers and use that to take control of people and say, right, now go out and kill all these people? Well, hang on, you're guilty of this. Well, actually, no, I wasn't, because somebody took control of my brain.
Yeah.
Now we've got reasonable doubt in our legal defence. It becomes a legal nightmare.
Yes. Oh, well, I suppose once we get MyGov sorted out, we might be able to move on to The neural links.
Yeah, and in other news, Mr. Aylett believes in Father Christmas, the Easter Bunny.
I'm always the optimist, so I'm quite happy with what we got, and I'm really keen to see what we get next.
Yeah, but I really do believe it comes down to the people who develop it. I'm not 100% convinced that Elon's really the ideal bloke to do it. I'm not disputing the man's genius. I'm not disputing the contribution he's making.
Yes.
But I don't know from a human resource element that he's the kind of bloke I'd want to be dealing with this.
All right.
We kind of have to have people who've got some sort of feeling for the human animal. I don't know that he does.
Yeah, so you're thinking that Elon is the guy who can do it, but we're not sure if he should
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
92211882. The idea that you could have, we'll call it a computer, right? But it would be an external electronic source that would know your thoughts, would know what you were thinking, and have the capacity to act upon what you were thinking. How do you feel about that? Think about it, and no pun intended, but think about it for a moment. How do you genuinely feel about that? By the way, what we're talking about here is not science fiction. In the next few years, this is kind of stuff that may well be science reality.
Yeah.
Well, how would you feel under that circumstance where you had some electrodes that were connected to your brain, and you were connected to a computer? Remember, a computer could be a device like a smartphone, anything like that, that knows what you're thinking.
Yeah, yeah. And look, I've also looked down the article a little further, and it looks like that Facebook is also exploring similar technology through its secretive hardware division, Building 8.
All right, 92211882. How do you feel about that sort of stuff, where you actually could literally get to the point where you have machines that know what you are thinking? Think about that for a moment. Give us a buzz. How do you feel about that? Is it something that, like Ben feels reasonably comfortable with it? My biggest reservation is the person who's behind it.
Yep.
There has to be a certain humanity. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean by the eccentric person that he is. I don't necessarily know that I'd be that comfortable with something like that in the hands of an Elon Musk. I don't know that the average person's ethical boundaries would be the same as his. I think they may well be poles apart. Anyway, what do you think about that? 92211882. Yes, we are talking about a computer to which you would be attached that would know what you were thinking. Gee, I'd really like to have a race tonight. Next thing, a roast rocks up.
The morning program
Ben Simmons, extraordinary contract, $170 million US.
with Gareth Parker.
Andrew Gaze, good morning.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling when you think of those numbers. What level of compensation do you say, well, is this getting ridiculous? It's all ridiculous. Players getting $40 or $50 million a season. It's hard for us to comprehend, but that's the world they live in.
Mornings with Gareth Parker. Tomorrow from 8:30 on 882 6PR. Or catch up now at 6pr.com.au.
Did you know, regardless of age, you can get a 20% discount on Noble Oak's My Protection Plan for the life of the cover at 50upclub.com. That's a 20% discount every year, no matter what amount of cover you choose. See how much you can save with a 20% discount on fully underwritten life insurance from Noble Oak. You'll get no surprises. Peace of mind cover, and Noble Oak will also advance the cover amount up to $3 million if you're diagnosed with a terminal illness. Get your quote now for a 20% discount on Noble Oak's My Protection Plan for the life of the cover at 50upclub.com. Any advice provided is general in nature. You should read the product disclosure statement to see if the product is right for you.
If you got a tree and it's been a little tricky, up in the hills or here in the city, it could be a big one, a small one, a short one, or a tall one. If you got a tree and it's being a little tricky, jump on the phone and whack it with a dickie.
Hey, there's storms coming. Get in touch with Dickie's Trees today. Call Dickie's Trees or Google them.
Dickie's Trees.
Some people search a lifetime for true love. Others have it parked in their garage. Treat the ones you love with F10 Fuel Treatment. F10 Fuel Treatment. Available at Auto One, Atom, Blackwoods, Persons and Repco stores.
This week's Fresh Market Update, brought to you by Woolworths.
G'day, Paul Turner here. Well, this month we've got a good supply of Hess avocados from our Aussie growing regions. They're creamy and smooth with a delicious mild flavour. And this season's Pink Lady apples are as sweet and crisp as ever, thanks to ideal growing conditions in Manjimup. There's also plenty of broccolini in store this winter. We're seeing good quality produce with great flavour. That's this week's Fresh Market Update, brought to you by Woolworths.
At Homestart, we love to help out renters. So this month, we will be giving away $5,000 to 5 lucky renters. If you're currently renting and would like the chance to win, simply head to homestart.net.au and register on our promotions page. Just think how much sooner you could be in a home of your own if you're one of our lucky winners. Homestart. We are the first home buyer specialists. Terms and conditions apply. BC 6415.
This is where Perth talks at night with Chris Ilsley on Perth Tonight.
Ben Aylett here from benaylett.com. That's also where you'll find all of his contact information.
Yep.
922 11882. Would love to know how you feel about the idea of literally, and by the way, we're not talking about science fiction here. We're not talking about how would you like this is your next episode of Star Wars or something like that. We are talking about something that very much could happen in the foreseeable future. And that is that you have some very, very tiny electrodes which allow a computer to know what you're thinking. In other words, your brain communicates directly with a computer. You don't need a keyboard. You don't need anything else. In fact, arguably, you wouldn't even have to say, could you do such and such? It would know it.
Yep.
For example, it would know that you're on your way home, that you've just turned the corner and now would be a good time to open the garage door.
Yeah, it'd be like having a smartphone without having to interact with the screen.
Yeah, well, you'd be able to do stuff, I suppose, like, say, I want to have a chat to Ben Aylett, give him a buzz.
Yep.
In fact, you may not even have to say that. You might just think it.
Yeah. Or just, shoot me a
Which
text.
would mean that they'd have to overcome one of the other issues. Gee, I really should give Ben a call. And making sure that it doesn't interpret that at 2 o'clock in the morning, realising that if it does act...
God, yes. Yes, I never thought about the dream
activities
thing.
will not be appreciated.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, just switch off now while I'm having a bit of a nightmare. How's that?
All of that kind of stuff.
Oh, boy.
922 11882. But seriously, how do you feel about that? I don't know. Maybe you don't care. Maybe it's something you would look forward to. But if somebody came to you and they said, and it could well happen in the next few years where this sort of technology could come to pass, is it something you would embrace? Would you be happy with it, or would you be, on the other side, distinctly unhappy with it? And here's the other question, Ben. How far could it go? Could it go to the point where it could tap into somebody's thinking, even if it is not directly interfaced with that person?
I think it could probably even go further than that, where we will eventually become immortal. We can have our consciousness uploaded to a system and stored, and we could.
But how would it then go learning? See, one of the things that happens is we learn.
Yeah.
If you upload at a point up to the point that somebody dies, then one would imagine that they don't move on from that.
They'd still be able to interact with the rest of the world, though, wouldn't they?
But what would happen when what they know and how they interact becomes very passé? For example, if we were to wind the clock back 35 years, so welcome, it's 1984, right?
Yep.
People like you and I are jumping around to Frankie Goes to Hollywood, singing Relax and the whole bit, right?
Oh, those are good days.
That's right. In the meantime, if we communicated now like we communicated in 1984, chances are we'd say some stuff that people now would get offended and feel was totally inappropriate. But also, we would interact in ways that people no longer interact. Simply because we interacted in 1984 relative to what was around in 1984. For example, have a 1984 conversation about being online. Being what? Online, isn't that what the train is?
Yeah.
No, that's on the tracks. You see what I mean? Even though it seems really simple, because all the changes that happened just happened as we ticked along.
Yeah, it opens the door for a lot of questions.
Does it sometimes potentially pose more questions than answers?
Well, that's a whole idea, isn't it?
Yep, 922 11882. Seriously, how do you feel about that? Would you be happy with that, or do you find it a little bit unnerving?
Yeah, all right. Hey, how about we move on? We've got some other stuff that we should be covering, I guess.
Oh, yes, this one we have to be talking about.
Yes.
The new malware that apparently has invaded 25 million
25
Android
million, that's
phones.
right.
How did that happen?
All right, so this malware, it's been dubbed Agent Smith.
As in Men in Black?
No, as in The Matrix.
Oh, right, okay.
So Agent Smith had this uncanny ability to replicate himself by taking over other programs or people in The Matrix. The malware operates very similarly. It initially gets onto your phone by being downloaded and looking like it might be a game or a utility, but it's being downloaded from a website that is not the Google Play Store. So it's being downloaded from an unauthorized location.
How many people do that?
Look, I'm
download
sure,
apps from what you would term an unauthorised location.
Well, at this point, I think the number stands at around about 25 million.
Sheesh.
Which just gives you an idea.
Is it pretty well from the same sort of, or has it come from multiple different sources?
It could come from all sorts of sources. So what this malware is doing at the moment is that it is, once it gets onto your phone, it will then seek out other applications and then it will modify those applications to display ads over the top of those applications.
It drives people insane, wouldn't it?
Which would absolutely suck. It would be terrible. But that's just the beginning, because if you can mess with applications and have them display ads when they shouldn't be, there's no telling what you can do with that sort of access. You can essentially change the base function of those applications. You could probably access storage or memory and pick up things like usernames, passwords, payment card details, photos, access to the camera, access to the microphone.
Is this just a preliminary run, do you think, to see what it can do?
I think what the malware authors have done so far is they're just going for the fast buck, the quick fast buck, where they are managing to make money by displaying ads over all the apps on your phone. The next step is when someone looks at this and goes, okay, we can now use it for surveillance, or we can now use it to turn one of the most used apps into ransomware, which will then effectively lock up a phone, and they'll have to send us Bitcoin or just send us cash or just pay us so we'll unlock the phone. Now, a few months down the track, we'll lock it up again. So it is going to be something that we've got to watch out for. Now, there's no need to panic because fixing this is very, very simple. If your phone is infected, you can start by trying to remove the applications that are misbehaving. And
isn't one of the first tricks of when you get an application that shouldn't be there, that they remove the ability for the user to easily remove the application, because it remaining is actually essential to whatever dastardly deed they've imposed upon you remaining?
Yeah, so with that in mind, I would say that the window of opportunity is closing. Not too sure how quickly, but it is closing, because eventually people will cotton onto this and say, we can use this for more evil purposes. Now, if removing the application doesn't work, I'm afraid the best option then is to
blow it all away and start again.
Exactly. Reset to factory default settings and start all over. And look, prevention is really important, and it is so easy. It means just getting your stuff from the Google Play Store, and that's it. You're home and hosed.
Why do people get stuff from third-party apps?
Well, they might get stuff from third-party apps. So they might be, say, on a social media site, and they'll see an ad for like a really cool game or a favourite gambling application or just something that really attracts their attention. They click on the ad. It takes them to a website that kind of looks like that social media site, and then they install it, and it says, you can't install it because you've selected to go only to the Google Play Store. Tick this box to allow us to install this and give you free coins or whatever.
Don't tick the box.
Don't tick
the box.
And 9 times out of 10, look, if you see an ad on a social media site, don't click through to it. Just don't do it. All you're doing is you're encouraging people to put more ads.
Yeah, you're just cultivating bad habits.
Yep, that's it. Don't
All
do
right,
it.
9221 882, the telephone number, by the way. Also, if you have any technical questions for Ben, he's always up for a technical question or two. Maybe you've got one of those phones and you're holding it there and thinking, oh,
that's what's happening.
That's the reason why I've got all these ads at 100 per hour.
Beat the clock. Win the cash. 6PR's $1,000 minute with Steve and Baz. Thanks to Perth Window and Door Replacement Company.
You've won $1,000.
Listen out for your window of opportunity.
Looking for solutions on ageing well? Everything you need to know for the future is at the Care and Ageing Expo. Discover the latest products, services and information with over 100 exhibitors, including home and residential care, health services, aged care planning, equipment, retirement and support groups, plus 30 free expo seminars across 2 stages. Perth Convention and Exhibition Centre, August 3 and 4. Pensioners get in free. Tickets online and at the door. careandagingexpo.com.au.
Hi, my name is Nicola from Jindy, WA's most interesting and unique new land development. Can we bring back old-style neighbourhoods, not just the same cookie-cutter suburbs of today? Yes. At Jindy, we want neighbours to engage with each other and look out for each other. And right now, we have a special Jindy bonus, up to $25,000 on selected lots. So call me on 1300 Jindy, JINDEE, or visit our information centre on Marmion Avenue.
Values. We all hold them, care about them. Some drive us, some inspire us, and they can say a lot about us. At Perslow and Chipper Funerals, we understand them and care about them too. Because every day we're privileged to help families treasure them, honour them, and remember them in those they love. Perslow and Chipper Funerals, celebrating the values you treasure most. Visit perslowchipperfunerals.com.au.
If you're after a forklift that leads the way in quality, reliability and productivity, then Toyota Material Handling has the right forklift solution for you. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a massive range from pallet jacks, stackers and auto pickers to their market-leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. For new and used sales, short or long-term hire and all servicing, let Toyota Material Handling tailor the right forklift solution for your business. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Call 1-800-425-438 or hit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
If you run a small business, you don't want to pay over the odds for anything, including international money transfers. But with money markets changing by the minute, it's hard to know how to get the best deal. Many small businesses are making the smart move to OFX, an ASX-listed global money transfer specialist. OFX offers fast, secure technology and hands-on local support. So make your next move with OFX, where the world's moving.
Until midnight on 6PR, this is Perth Tonight with Chris Ilsley.
And Ben Aylett's joining us doing his technology thing. By the way, his website's benaylett.com, as we mentioned, 1L, 2 T's in Aylett.
That's right.
And that's where you'll also find all of his contact information.
Yep.
922 if you'd like to have a chat to him. Also like to know how you'd like to be interfaced to a computer that would know your thoughts. Anyway, we've got one here for you from Darko, and he reckons this is really going to pick your brain out.
Oh, okay, here we go.
He said, I remember when I used to have an old Nokia 3230.
Yep.
I entered all of my phone mobile contact numbers to it manually. Now, on the iPhone 6S, it is not possible. What's happened is I hadn't updated my new contacts between 2017 and 2019. I did so recently. Then I did a clean restore where I accidentally clicked on iPhone during setting up to restore old iCloud backup, but the backup has not been updated because of my slow internet Optus Wireless 4G connection. Whenever I tried to do a backup to iCloud, the backup process on my iPhone 6S gets stuck on 4 hours. Is there any way to import to SIM card manually my contacts on iOS?
So he's got the contacts on his SIM card, and he wants
he wants to contact them too. He wants to import them to SIM card. Yeah, he wants to import from the cloud, but his connection's too damn slow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if his connection is too slow, if I was in his situation, and because this is a one-off thing we just need to do, you just need to do that big update.
Yeah.
I would go to McDonald's and get some McWi-Fi. We'll start with that. Or I'll just find a place where there's some fast internet and just go down that way. So that'll be a nice, quick and dirty way around it. Relying on flaky mobile phone connections to move lots of data is really not a good idea. So I would definitely use Wi-Fi to hook up to some ground-based Wi-Fi that was, ground-based internet that was fast, and that'd be the way to go. Failing that, I mean, you can always contact Apple and make an appointment with an Apple genius, and let's see how smart they really are.
What, go to an Apple store and say, I've got all the information, I just want to hook up to it here.
Yeah, they'd know how to do that.
But not only that, wouldn't they have a system in a store where you could hook up to their online system and say, well, I want something to do this fast and this will do it fast?
Yeah. Now, look, and there are also other ways that you can manage your contacts too. Now, Apple doesn't play nicely with everyone else, but Google...
Are they getting better at playing nice with other people?
No, they don't have to because they're Apple. But Google will quite happily play with absolutely anyone. They don't care as long as you're using the service. So what I do is I use Google Contacts to synchronise all my contacts between all my different devices because it works.
And you can do that with an iPhone as well?
Yep, exactly right. Yeah, so Google will quite happily play on iOS devices and Mac devices as well. So contacts.google.com, just like you can go to photos.google.com.
So contacts?
Yep.
.google.com.
Yep. So you synchronise all your contacts to there and you use that as your main database.
Now, is there a way that you could actually synchronise from an existing iCloud account to that?
I'm sure there may be. It might take a bit of Googling, but I'm sure there'll be a way to do it.
So it might be a case in that instance of let's Google way to do this.
Yes. You jump on Google and you say iCloud to Google Contacts, and I'm pretty sure you'll find.
Should we try it?
Yeah, okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. iCloud.
Oh, you beat me. Hang on a second.
To Google Contacts.
I can type faster. Here we go.
Yeah, I know you can.
There you go. Method 2. This is on ubergizmo.com. So you go to iCloud via your computer. Select one of the contacts that you want to export. Oh, that seems a bit around the way.
Select one, open settings, scroll down and click contacts, accounts, add account, step 2. That's all right. This is how to sync. Oh, no. No, it's got around the other way. That's how to sync Google Contacts with iCloud.
Yeah.
Now, you want it the other way around,
iCloud contacts to Google.
How do I sync my iPhone contacts? On iPhone, settings, mail, contacts, calendars, add account, Google. Enter your credentials.
Right.
Enable contacts or follow Google's instructions.
Yeah, I hope. I hope Darko got all that.
I hope so too. We've told him what to do though.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah, greetings. If you go, as you suggested, you go to the inquirer was wanting to get onto an Android type phone, but I've been to Apple before, to the Apple stores, and they're more than happy to let you log into and use their very fast Wi-Fi for tasks such as what you're suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's got the old iPhone and he wants to transfer it across, I mean, it's only a few seconds on their Wi-Fi, even if it's going across to a different phone.
So it's just a matter of rocking up to an Apple store and they'll happily let you use their Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Pretty much. Very friendly propellerhead people in there, and I say that in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had some dealings with them at one stage and they were extremely friendly and they couldn't do enough for us.
Yep. How could you not be happy? You're working in an Apple store. It's got to be fun.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Jeff. There you go.
Yeah.
That seems to be the solution then.
Yes.
Mind you, because the only thing that's holding him back now, of course, is having super slow Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's really it. That's the only problem.
That's a pain in the neck, isn't it?
It is.
If his Wi-Fi was any slower, it would actually stop.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
That's what drives him nuts.
Yeah. Now, do we have time for a quick review?
We've got 40 seconds.
40 seconds for a quick review.
You asked. 40 seconds.
Fair enough. Okay, so there is a review. With all the Apollo 11 stuff coming up to 50 years, I've been scouring the internet for something that's really interesting, and I think I've found it. It is called ApolloInRealTime.org. Now, I was really lucky enough to catch the guy who did this. His name is Ben Feist, and he initially started this off as a project, and it's it's really great. He's got all these photos and videos and 11,000 hours worth of video on different channels, all synchronised.
It's amazing.
It's just brilliant.
Beautiful. Mate, we'll have a chat again next week. As always, don't forget benaylett.com. That's where you'll find all the contact info.
Saturday.
And that